better to have one early in the non-conference games. I told our kids as we closed the chapter last night, we'll move on to the next one. But you know, it's never easy. You know, again, as you play this game of football, you learn that there's a lot of good teams out there. Western Michigan being one of them. There's a lot of parity in college football as you look around the country and see how things go, whether it's in the ACC or outside the ACC. And we didn't play our best ball game, and that's the most disappointing thing. And I think physically we're prepared. I'm not sure mentally we were. I can't look inside, as I told the kids last night. I can't crack your head open and look inside and see what's in there. Where's your mind been all week? What are you tweeting? What are you snapping? I don't know. But I certainly don't think there was the energy and emotion, which I might have mentioned after the press conference, or I've been thinking about it for 2 days, since the game. But we didn't execute. I mean, the passing game was good. I don't think our protection was good. I don't think we rushed the football like we need to. I don't think we blocked like we need to. I don't think we stopped the run. So when you talk about stopping the run, did it open up your RPO shoot? We didn't do either one. We allowed them to be two-dimensional, and to me, it goes on focus and making plays and details. And structurally, obviously, we could do some things better, but we didn't. And you live and learn. That's why we coach a game of football, and that's our job to fix it and make it better. So we got a 3-0 New Hampshire football team coming in here, which I think is a good football team. And if you don't come ready to play, and you don't get your minds locked into what you need to do, and you don't think you're going to just throw your helmet out on the field and it's going to take care of it and make plays for you, you'll have another problem, because they're a good football team. They got a quarterback that will scramble around, make plays. They break the pocket a lot. He's athletic. He throws a nice catchable ball. He's smooth, and I think he's accurate. So you're facing another guy. They're all over the place. Obviously in 2021. So I'm impressed with the football team. I think they're tough, and I think they schematically do a lot of good things. So, questions?
How do you correct to make sure that you have the proper mental attitude before games going forward?
You know what? I thought it was good last week. I think after a loss, I don't think anybody, came. I think it's an eye opener. As much as we talked and put that Tennessee game to rest, I don't. They may be shaking their head. Yeah, I got you, coach. Got you. Yeah. I mean, I purposely didn't put. After the UMass game on this little TV out here, last week you saw that field pass. Maybe if you walked in there going last week, you didn't see a field pass. I said, do not put that up there. I don't want our guys thinking anything about it. Just all those things, you try to suppress it mentally, but I can't take care of it. But I would hope, getting punched in the face Saturday afternoon, I hope that wakes you up.
Pat, you're in year 7. You have a bunch of veteran guys on the team. Did you assume that you were sort of past the point where a mental letdown after a big win was?
Yeah. I mean, you think you're there. It's something you prepare for. You talk about it, and again, you say mental. I say that guy executed. I say LB, was on fire. We went back and watched a bunch of RPOs from last year and just looked at what we've seen this year in RPOs and how we did it, what we did wrong. You don't see much of a difference. What we're doing structurally and things evolve. But I think they're a big time RPO team, which I told you. And I was impressed with the quarterback, and he made shots too. So I don't want to say it's all mental either. Physically, you got to make some plays, and we didn't stop the run. When you made it two-dimensional, if they want to throw the pass, at least stop the run. But we didn't do that either, and that's even more disappointing.
Hey, obviously your defense is designed to stop the run. When you do that, maybe do you leave yourself open to the pass? Certainly.
You leave yourself open to some RPOs. Yes. You always do. If you're committed to stopping the run, but the worst part about it is when you're committed to stopping the run, you don't stop the run, Jerry. Especially in a 4-minute situation when they're going to run the ball. But what happens if they start thinking, what's everybody think? Let me go help somebody else. Let me go do somebody else's job, and you don't do your own job. And that's when things leak out. So to play great defense, everybody's got to do their job. You can't think, well, they keep throwing it over my head, so I'm just going to try to do this, or maybe I want to run around the tackle and get a pass rush in, let it down your throat. And those are some things you see out there. We get it fixed, but everybody wants to go make a play, but you got to do it within the framework of the defense or the offense.
Did you make any adjustments to the RPOs?
Yeah, we had a couple adjustments in there. We stopped them earlier, and they made some adjustments. We made some adjustments, and they looked to the sideline. So there's some things that get you there too.
What was the team's move when you guys came in for film this year?
It was a good mood. Like a normal. To be honest with you, and that's kids in 2021. you know, they already got the lift in, they already saw film, you know, so they each, you know, we go lift, meet, flip, and they got to see the videotape already. I think they got corrections. We come here, watch special teams, and then we put it to bed. But you know, the mood was good. You know, obviously we're locked in during special teams, you know, because we make all the corrections, whether you're, you know, on the punt team or not. We can do that all together in here as a team, and then, you know, and then close the chapter. But the mood was good. There was, you know, no head hanging, and you know, that's what you expect.
Did you want the mood to be good?
I'm going back and forth. I've given up the job of trying to read and analyze, okay? Because you can't. You know, I think they went in and got a workout, and they came back to work, and you know, we talk about 24 hours, and you know, last year I think there was one game, I forget, it was early, where the kids were like really, really down. Might have been after our first loss, and I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I mean, I'm not a psychologist. Sometimes we can claim to be, but you know, it's hard nowadays.
You mentioned that, excuse me, having a loss this early in the season, you'd hope to be able to move past it and to kind of get it out of the way in a sense. But do you worry that it could linger and not, you know, as the weeks go on?
You worry about, you know, wins and deal with success lingers, and you know, and then the adversity as well. So anything can linger. You know, we got to do our best job as coaches to try to get them together and pull it together and go out and beat New Hampshire.
Your message to the team.
About lingering.
Your message to the team is move forward, but there are some pretty frustrated fans and students. What's your message to them?
Worried about the guys in this room, you know, and you know, everybody in here knows what happened, and I can't help the fans. I apologize to them, and try to prevent it from happening again.
Pat, when it was 4th and 6 in the fourth quarter, 10 minutes to go, do you think about punting?
I thought about it, you know, and I've always said this, you know, I thought about it, and next time maybe I felt like punting, and Whip felt like he had a good call, and again, I always kind of go with where he was like, oh, I don't know, we're punting. You know, if he's like, hey, I got this, then we, you know, so, you know, you have regrets as coaches. I mean, you look at the score of the game, and we gave up 24 points off of turnovers, 3 real turnovers and 2 turnovers on downs, and that 4th and 6 is one of them, where we don't convert on 4th down, and we want to be, you know, a little bit more risky, if you want to say it at times like that, and you trust Kenny Picking, you trust your wideouts to make plays and get the right depth and do all those things, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and you know, I haven't, you know, gone back to look and see what the analyzers say that we go. I don't got to sit on my desk, but go back and see what they thought punter go. But I would imagine any analytics would probably say you need to go. But you can listen to analytics, but to me it comes down to the coach's decision. So I don't blame analytics. We got to either execute, or I got to say, hey, we can't execute, so we're going to punt. But I also know that our defense wasn't stopping anybody. You know, we were on the field for 40 minutes, okay? And when you're on the field for 40 minutes, you like to keep our offense on the field more than just 20 minutes, which is what we were. You know, do I regret not kicking an onside kick with 3:48 or whatever was in the game? Yeah, I mean, it's a little too early, but if you're never going to get the ball back, you know, you want to kick it inside. But then you give the ball right there. And then you guys will be asking us on Monday, like, why'd you do that? But, you know, and I saw a little different attitude out of the defensive guys when they went out there. First 2 plays of that 4-minute drive at the end, they were flying around a little bit different, like juice. And I know if we got off the field, our offense was going to score, we were going to win the game. But we didn't get that opportunity, unfortunately.
Do you feel like your defenders were thinking too much at times? Or because, like you talked before about them playing fast, do you feel like that was part of the problem?
A little bit of thinking, a little bit worried about, like, you know, what's going on back there? What can I do to help? You know, I think it's a little, you know, I talked to one guy that said I was thinking too much, I should just play. You know, that was a guy that shouldn't be thinking at all.
Pat, you know, after the game, I was talking to Coach Lester. He mentioned he watched a lot of film from the 15 game when he was at OC at Syracuse.
Right.
As a coach, you know, how much of it is it? Everybody has a system. You've been very successful defensive coach in your career. You have a way that you play. At the same time, how do you weigh that against? Well, man, I don't want to be so predictable that guys can look at my tape from 6 years ago and figure out what we're going to do.
Well, and they're the same way. They did the same stuff too. So we went back. You know, I think I mentioned it to you on Thursday. You know, then we went back and watched them as well. So, you know, I told you his fingerprints are all over the offense, and Tim's a great coach. So it's predictability, and it comes down to making plays and who's making the plays and who's not. But we've been running the same defense for I don't know how many years. And you know, after one, you know, guess you guys think it's broken, so it can be broken for a Saturday. We'll find out this Saturday. So,
After the game, you said that Owen was out when Cradle came in at center and Wilson. How would you assess those two guys, how they played when they came in, and is Owen going to be available this weekend?
yeah. On the last question, I'm not sure. But Jerry usually asks me the questions. I'm shocked you asked me that, John. But
He's my protege.
good boy. And then, Cradle played okay in there. Obviously, he doesn't get 1,000 reps in there, so it's like having your backup quarterback that gets limited reps in a ball game. So, he had a couple of MAs and some things that we needed to do better. So anytime you lose one of your 5 up there that's starting and playing a lot of reps, you lose your continuity. And then Keldrick came in. He did a solid job, gave up some pressures for the plays he was in there. So, we got to get better there as well. But, he's getting some of his first reps.
Is there still a possibility for a guy like Apoy or Gonzalez to play guard?
Yes.
You've got Sean McDonald for a long time. Can you talk a little bit about that, your relationship with him and some of the things you've done with him over the years?
Yeah, I mean, Sean's a great guy. Again, I don't have this. We worked together one summer, and he was a coach at Columbia, where my dad coached prior to passing away. Just a super guy. I've known him through the years when he was, at New Hampshire when I was coaching at Rhode Island. So just a super guy and a tough guy, old school coach that does it the right way.
When you corroborated on the $1.5 million house, were you playing at the time? And how did you clean up the mess?
Jeez, Joe, you're crazy. I thought we talked about this already.
Not on the record.
I don't know. Back then I was in college. I don't remember the price of the house, but you do. I don't know if you got the address or something. You Googled it, but for everybody else that doesn't know, we painted a house together, and bucket of paint got spilled in the bedroom. We were scrambling to clean up a bucket of paint off the carpet. So we've been through stress together and adversity.
Did the lady notice it when she got home?
She didn't say it to us, so we were good. Good cleanup. Have more tarps.
Did you talk about a ball while you were?
No, because it was such a big house. I was not that end. He was over there.
And I know you were working on yak yards with receivers coming into the season and avoiding tackles. To that point, the game Jared Wayne had, and how much has he come in that regard?
Jared's done an unbelievable job, and they really all have. Ironically, that one drill I throw bags at him, I got 7 guys last week between running backs, tight ends, and receivers. They weren't happy with me knocking them out. We made some strides there, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but our guys are running through tackles and making plays and getting those extra yards. And Coach Barry done an outstanding job with that as well. So, it's player and coach. So.
I think he leads your team in yards after the catch. Is that kind of a surprising stat for him to be?
Not really. I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, he's a football player, and he's big, he's strong, and again, it all depends on what catches you're getting. He's catching balls over the middle, he's able to get vertical. Sometimes if you're running out routes or something like that, you're too close to the sideline to get and react. But Jared's been happy with Jared, Tayseer, and obviously Jordan Hansen.
He's only got 1 carry. Is that a rotation thing, a game script thing? Or?
It comes down to just we got to get him more carries, and he will get more carries. He'll get more carries this weekend, and we'll set it up. I'll make sure it happens. But I got a lot of faith in Izzy, and he's going to get more carries this weekend for sure. But just kind of as the game went, and and how it was going, just kind of what you felt.
Is this the best passing game you've had here?
I don't know. You guys can go back and look at the stats. I don't know.
What's your eye test now?
I guess it tells you the receiver's pretty good, Kenny Pickett's pretty good. Want to run the ball better.
And Pat, you guys have been searching for that solution of the run game for a while now.
Still
At some point, you can only scheme so much. How much of it is just about the 5 guys up front meeting the guy in front?
This past week, and normal times, I'd say it's the guys up front last week. I mean, we didn't get a hat on hat, which is what I talked with the offense. Just like we got to get our hats on somebody, let the tailbacks have a chance. We're turning guys loose for whatever reason, and somehow, some way, we got to get a hat on a hat and get our bodies on their bodies. You don't have to knock them up. into the goal, onto the goalpost, but we've got to get some hats on hats and put people on people, and I was not happy with that.
Your defense gave up a big yardage number, but it also seemed like you didn't win enough on possession downs, you didn't get any turnovers, let them get some touchdowns in the red zone. Which of those do you focus on more, the total or those specific plays?
It's specific plays. I mean, we only gave up 5 explosive plays on the day, which is crazy. But you go down there, I mean, everybody looks at the yardage and all that stuff, and again, it's stats, and I always say stats are for losers. But pull the stat together, yards per minute you're on the field. Okay, pull up our offense per play you're on the field. I mean, defense is on the field for over 40 minutes. I mean, 2/3 of the game they're on the field, and and again, to their issue, they couldn't get off the field, whether it was a P&10 problem. And so it wasn't all these explosives. I mean, the biggest explosive is really 2 big explosives are, MJ Devonshire falls down, and Brandon Hill knocks the heck out of 31. I mean, those are your 2 big ones. And then that 32-yard run in a 4-minute situation where, we got safety kind of runs out of the box, which we've worked a million times, and doesn't do his job. They're going to hand it off the jet sweep guy, and we don't fit it right. We got a defensive end that runs up the field. Those are, like, would you think they were going to throw the ball in a 4-minute situation? Those are what, tells me, like, what are we thinking about out there?
You said after the game you felt like you guys maybe should have blitzed more. Do you still feel that way after rewatching the film?
Yeah, a different kind of blitz, but yeah.
When you're looking at things like that or in-game adjustments, how's that work between you and Coach Bates?
I got to do a better job. I trust our defensive staff, and I really trust our defensive staff. But there's times where I just got to, I'm trying to make decisions on offense, and things were going fast. And we were scoring in 1 place, 3 plays and out. And, punt alert. Get ready for the next series, and to just hang on the headphones on the defense the whole time. It's tough, but I'm going to have to get over it a little bit more just to see what's going on. And we didn't make in-game adjustments like I'd like to and I'm used to. And as I watch the video, I told our defense staff, as I watch the video, from the video session, as I watched on Saturday night and Sunday morning, I'm looking at it going, if I just saw that from the box, I know what I'm doing. And we didn't do that. And I got to put it on me because ultimately I got to get it done somehow, some way. Shoot, over the weekend I thought about not being a head coach sitting up in the damn box this week. Just coach for the box later.
What stood out to you when you had a chance to analyze everything? What stood out? You said.
Yeah, I mean just little tweakings that we have to make, and we didn't make those. And again, it goes back to right here, me, and somehow I got to get it done.
So, if you coach from the box, you got to come down and field in the 4th quarter, right?
Yeah, I thought about that too, Jerry. No question about it. No doubt about it. I see a lot of there.
Do you have anything final?
It's hard to see on the field.
Pat, you've got a large discrepancy because of the eligibility thing with the extra year between. I mean, Trey's like almost as old as some of us, right? And you still got freshmen in there. I mean, how do you make sure that you avoid like the old guys sticking with the old guys and the young guys? Like there's cliques that have lost. How do you make sure when you've got such a discrepancy that the team stays together? And then I guess, have you seen mentorship opportunities maybe pop up that wouldn't have otherwise because you have, the 24-year-old, the 23-year-old,
Yeah.
and the 18-year-old?
I mean, each room takes care of itself, and then the offense and the defense gel together. And I think we got to, I'm not worried about that at all. Our kids are, they're tight and have fun together. And obviously, there's guys in the back of the room, the freshmen, the puppies that want to play more. Hey, how about me? And I put it on tape. I can show you why. Just come ask me why. But we've got an eagle in each room. We got a leadership council guy in each room that kind of is in charge of making sure everything sticks together. We try to mentor those young guys. It's a big brother. Whether it's Jordan Addison with Jalen Bradley. I mean, we got guys that are on those guys just to make sure they're doing things the way we do it, and they are with the culture, not against it.
Coach, thank you very much.
Explain what P&10 means. I'm a football dummy.
Okay, P&10 is the first play of possession. So P&10 is just like a 1st and 10, but it's the first play of possession. And there's different things offenses do on P&10s as opposed to they gain a 1st down, and then that's 1st down. Good question.
Now,